latest news from the nation and across the globe is just minutes away with ABC News, 89, WLS, and WLSAM.com.
722. The NATO special. John Kass of the Tribune's here. Jim Johnson with the news. And they're gathering. It's big time will be had by all.
It's going to be, you know what? I kind of am changing my mind on the protesters. I'm thinking, you know, we all have beefs, right? And I love the whole beef thing that you were doing earlier.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is America. If you got a beef with, if you want it juicy or dry with peppers, you know, you should have it. I mean, what is with these protest zones?
Well,
look, we're doing this on the radio. We're saying, you know, people get to say what they want. Why do we have to be in the zone? Why do we have to be in the zone?
I don't know. They're going to Rahm's house today.
That's where they should have pitched their tents, because he invited them, so they should all live in his neighborhood. Yeah, I don't know about that. What do you think?
But as I said earlier to one of the callers, there are protesters, and you can't say every protester is bad, because the protesters yesterday that are concerned about the mental health cutbacks. I mean,
or the ladies with the Robin Hood hats, the nurses.
Yeah, the clown protesters, I'm not too sure of.
Clowns are crazy. Everyone knows clowns are creepy. Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You know, I saw Skeleton Man. Did you see Skeleton?
No.
He's like a guy in a skeleton outfit. It was kind of creepy. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Oh, I guess NATO, death, Masters of War, Bob Dylan, that sort of thing.
And then they also had some of the protesters went last night to the hotel that's having trouble with the unions.
Yeah.
On Michigan Avenue. They were there last night. And,
but you know what? Tomorrow's going to be the Iraqi war veterans and thousands of people, and they're going to make their speeches. And what's interesting is that for many of the listeners, people think they're most of them are on the left. And they are, but they're highly critical of Obama, too. This is not, we love you, Barack Obama march, no matter what someone wants you to believe. Many of them believe that we should not be in Afghanistan, Iraq, anywhere, and they blame Obama for, even though that we're still there, even though they're withdrawing.
But it isn't much of a withdrawal. Because we're withdrawing in 2014, but we're staying to 2024. And Karzai, it needs about, what I read this morning, needs $4 billion a year to keep security, and he only has $500 million.
What about all the opium they sell, though? Can't they convert that to security?
That's a different contract.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But did you hear about Mr. 10%?
The Pakistan leader?
The leader of Pakistan, who I think did a couple years in prison for another, and then came back out and worked in politics, kind of like Chicago. They call him Mr. 10%. Is that guy? Couldn't that guy be a Chicago guy?
Yeah,
definitely. Okay.
But you mentioned that tomorrow they're going to be giving the medals back, and this. You know what the sad part is? I don't think any of the 60 foreign leaders who are going to be here are going to see that. They won't even come close to it.
No.
They'll be taken like you. What do you call it? The island? They're having the meeting on the
Security Island.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the magical place. Look, at I think it's 1 o'clock today. From 1 o'clock till 3, I'll tell you what the foreign leaders are going to be doing. They're going to be watching the Bayern Munich-Chelsea soccer match, which is the big championship of soccer in the world. That's what they're going to be doing. They will not be having meetings. They're not, you know, they might send some staffers, but most of the focus of the Europeans will be on that soccer match.
Are they staying in any particular one hotel, or are they all over?
I think they're in, you know, maybe they're staying with their brothers-in-law, you know, like in the suburbs. Like they're sleeping on the, you know, the fold-out bed.
They're out in Berwyn.
Yeah. Let's go to Freddy's for ice.
See, I don't think they're going to see any of that in Chicago. I know we're touting Chicago, but I don't think you're going to see them down at the Buckingham Fountain. I don't think you're going to see them.
Look, they're not going to walk around with They're security conscious.
Yeah.
And where are these 20,000, 30,000 staffers? I was listening to you on the way in. The hotels are empty.
Yeah.
So who's making money on this?
And they showed on
Chicago's losing money.
And the TV I saw last night was like they're showing empty restaurants. You could have, nobody in there, just tables and chairs.
How about the guy called last week, told us that he, his favorite steakhouse was going to be completely empty.
Gene and Giorgetti's?
Gene and Giorgetti.
I always wanted to go there.
Let's go for breakfast.
Are they open for breakfast?
I don't think so. I'll take you.
But yeah, so you wonder who's making the money, and the big, and the big thing so far, the big controversy is in this big, huge, beautiful thing with the Chicago 9-minute video playing all the time, and the Chicago gourmet chefs making food for the media. Is some of the media people are upset there are no recycle bins.
Here's why the media is stupid, and we're members of the media. So listen,
I'm a talk show host.
Okay, listen, they want recycled bins. Well, let me tell you something. You know what? Why you can't find garbage cans outside on State Street right now? What goes in recycled bins?
Garbage.
Stuff that goes boom.
Yeah.
Okay? So wake up.
So you can
morons.
litter. So you can litter all you want.
Wake up, morons. Okay? You want, like, closed receptacles? My gosh.
That's John Kass. I'm Jake Hartford. It's 89 WS 728. Back after this.
89 Stay in the know on the NATO summit with Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS.
7:35. This is your NATO Summit 2012 Chicago. Everyone's got a beef special. With me, Jake Hartford, John Kass of the Tribune, Jim Johnson with the news, and you'll get news and traffic today and tomorrow right here on WS. Just keep listening.
I want my beef hot and dry because I don't like the juice coming down my arm. Don't you hate that when you lift the beef up and it comes right down your jacket into your elbow? I hate that.
Now, we're talking about the protesters and the NATO and stuff like that. And I mentioned to John during the break, I said, yeah, there's a controversy with Chicago police. And I'll tell you what I heard, then you tell me what you heard. Mine has to do with the overtime that they don't want, the police officers apparently don't want cash. They'd rather have the comp time.
Some do. Depends on how many bills they have.
And
if they have like two alimony payments.
And I think it's easier for the city just to write out a check, because if they don't have enough officers to give comp time, then how do you know what I'm saying?
Right. And who's paying for this, by the way? The taxpayers? I mean, ultimately all taxpayers. But there's a big federal chunk that's coming, right?
I don't know.
I think that's how it has to be.
I mean, if businesses lose money because people aren't coming down, do they just write it off as saying, well, gee, in the big picture, all these visitors, it's good for Chicago?
Well, then you would have to call Chicago a disaster area, right? And I don't think Obama's going to do that after he invited everybody here that nobody wants. Sorry to beef.
But you said there's another controversy with the police.
Yeah, and I saw, I've heard about this from police officers who've called me, and then I saw it. I was walking across the Michigan Avenue Bridge trying to get a BLT. It was about 4 o'clock. Okay, this is how we do reporting. All right, this is the real reporting. And they lost the.
You have nobody to go get it for you?
I just wanted to limp out there and kind of hobble across like Groucho Marx and see if I could see something. So they come across the bridge, and there are like 3-4 cops on the bridge, and the protest. We lose the bridge. They were saying like it was a battle. So they finally got, a million cops out there, and I saw the ones that are in the black battle dress fatigues or whatever they call them. They're all black. And the sergeant says, lose the helmets. Ditch the helmets. Now they're confronting, I think one lieutenant was hurt yesterday. And they're confronting protesters without helmets. You know why? So they don't look intimidating. What is this? Is this like, why? So this is like the commercial for Obama and Rahm Emanuel? So we can't have intimidating looking police?
But that's the whole.
Give me a break.
But that's the whole point. You're supposed to look intimidating.
Yeah, that's how you stop people from coming across the bridge. Because the main thing of NATO is to have a meeting in Security Island and not have any protesters roaming up and down North Michigan Avenue. That's the image they don't want to see. But I think if they want, Superintendent McCarthy apparently doesn't want them to wear their helmets.
What do you think of him?
You know what? He seems like a decent guy. I don't know him. I like the fact that he's, he plays football. He's kind of like a tough guy, and I think he's was real police at one time. Is he? Did he change things around? Did he move a lot of people around, maybe without knowing all the, the talents of the people he moved? Yes. Is that going to cause him problems? Yeah. Down the road, it's already caused him some.
He was on yesterday with Don and Roma. And they were asking about some of the stuff that's going on.
The beer makers.
They were asking about that, and here's some of what he said.
I'm not going to comment on that. We're going no comment on this one. We're going to stay that way. No comment. We're going to stay no comment on that, folks. Folks, we're staying no comment. I don't know how to say that any differently.
Okay.
No comment.
Stay in no comment.
That was edited, of course.
Right, but stay in no comment. I like that. It's kind of like maintaining the no comment position.
I'm going to stay in no comment. Yeah.
Over by here, I'm no commenting.
Because sometimes I wonder if you say there isn't a problem, even though there is. If you keep saying it often enough, people start to think, well, there is no problem.
Well, there's two things I thought when I heard it, because I listened to it. I would listen to it live on WLS. Was they've just uncovered a huge terrorist network, and they're trying to maintain calm. Or B, he's probably thinking, is this really just the beer thing? Am I going to look stupid? Were they really just making beer? And apparently they've charged 3.
They let a few go.
Yeah, they let 6 go. So they let the 6 beer makers go, and they kept the 3 alleged Molotov cocktail guys.
You graduate from beer to Molotov cocktails.
It'll be in the city would rather, I think, step on some rights here than risk any kind of problem. And historically, some of these so-called anarchists are the ones who create the violence. It's not the, middle-aged nurse with a Robin Hood hat who wants to, help her patients. It's more like the 20-year-old kid that wants...
Where do they get those bandanas? You notice they all wearing the bandanas?
Yeah, it's kind of like at the Che Guevara outlet.
Yeah, they're getting off the bus. They're arriving on the bus. They're getting off, and they got the bandanas around their face.
You'd think, like, after the Osama thing, that people wouldn't want to walk around that way, but they do.
Do they have to go to security on the bus? I imagine they would have to.
I don't even know how you can get on a bus with that outfit. First of all, it's very unstylish. I want to see leopard skin. Leopard skin, boots, maybe, I don't know.
And then you see the ones with the phony glasses and the nose and the mustache.
What about the ones with the phony eyelids? Yeah, or eyelashes. That's really scary. And the Adam's apple. Yeah.
Now, what are they?
I can't believe I just.
When is everybody pulling out of here? Monday night.
Monday night. There will still be meetings Monday, and then there'll be diplomatic dinners with various delegations and their local, groups. So, for example, the Poles will have meetings with the Polish Americans of Chicago and French, Germans, etc.
But they're going to mostly stay to themselves. They're not going down to Ronnie's Steak Palace for dinner.
Yeah, they have the extra corn.
Probably not. Huh?
Right.
But if you want to come down to Chicago, avoid the street closures, and you can still enjoy yourself.
I think if you come north of the bridge, north of Michigan Avenue, it'd be great. Go to Navy Pier, enjoy yourself. It's beautiful.
Go for a boat ride? Could you go for a... Yeah, they have boat rides going.
They could just pitch it like protest boat rides. Like you could drive near the protesters and watch them getting pitched off the wall into Lake Michigan. Take some pictures.
Art in the suburbs. Art, you're on 89 WLS.
Hi, Jake. I love your program. I listened for years. Listen, I was with the 77 Deuce MP Battalion back in 1950, the Korean War, and... in our MP battalion, we did a lot of work, and one of them was riot control. What's happening today, the protesters have the upper hand. The police are backing off. This is the problem. Back then, we had 12-gauge shotguns in front of the rifle. We had a bayonet from the First World War, which was a long, narrow thing, and we looked menacing. And when we dispersed the crowd, they ran. We never fired a shot. But we had the upper hand, not them. What's happening today, they go to court, the cops are wrong. They go to court, they favor the protesters. And now you have to board up the window, and these are peaceful protesters. Now, the first rock that was thrown to us, we were allowed to shoot to kill. Because the next thing coming over could have been a hand grenade.
Who gave that?
Can't tell a rock from a hand grenade.
Who gave that order, John?
Sir?
I'm asking John. Do you remember that order, shoot to kill? Was that the original Mayor Daley?
That's the real mayor, as we call it, shoot to kill or maim. And that was during the riots. Right. Oh, yeah, but it was the riots after, I think, the King riots, right?
Yeah, I just remember that quote, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think, the caller has a point. I guess if you put 10,000 cops out there with shotguns and tell them to fire, you won't have much of a protest. But you might have a bad commercial politically.
But here's my question. You got all the media, right. The local media. The international media is at McCormick Place. They're not going to see anything.
And the local media is interested in whether Rahm gets angry at somebody.
And what's going to happen is they're covering this, and they're looking for anything.
Right.
I mean, there's protesters going to go down Michigan Avenue if someone stumbles, and it's going to be, oh my gosh, there's here, something big is happening.
Boy, look, you know how they are with the weather? We might get 3 flakes of snow. They're all wearing their little parkas outside, and they wear those little snow parkas. Like everyone else is walking around in a jacket, and they're in the snow outfit. Same thing. They're going to look for, oh my God, an old lady fell. She's 85 years old.
And then you also have the Chicago cops, who are augmented by police from other cities,
right?
But none from New York for some strange reason.
Well, are the what's that suburb out south where the gangs were running? Remember that? What's the one with
Dixmoor?
Is that it?
Yeah,
one of those. It's always in the paper. Yeah, and what about the Melrose Park cops?
Yeah, so
are they here? They're the ones in the bandland shirts, right?
See, I don't know where they all are, but at some point, it's like a thoroughbred getting geared up for a race. You're ready to race, and race day comes, and you don't get out of the barn.
That's probably why they don't want them in the helmets in one way. I think if you put the helmet on, you're ready for battle, and they don't want that mindset. But the problem is I don't want to see any police officer hurt.
No. Roe had the right idea. What he should do, he said for the protesters, they should have big giant screen TVs in Grant Park showing continuous loop of video from the 68 Democratic Convention to say, this is how we treat protesters that get out of hand.
I think you put big videos out there and free beer and let people party. And then they'd rather go out there and hang out,
and do a lot of mud. Put a lot of water on there, do a lot of mud wrestling and stuff like that.
Jell-O.
Yeah, there you go. John in Chicago, you're in 89 WLS.
This is Joe. Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Well, I live in Chicago. I live not too far from where all this silly protesting is going on, and that's exactly what it is. It's silly. It's it's over. I mean, the era of protesting is show business, Hollywood. It's rock and roll. Where it's at is a town hall meeting, and the Tea Party knows that very well. And incidentally, the town hall meeting was invented 600 years before Christ, 600 BC, and it was invented by a Greek Athenian of Phoenician background. It's alone, and he's called the grandfather of democracy. And that's where our word, and he seriously invented the idea of organizing town hall meetings so that they can, whenever the assembly was held in the top of the hill in Athens, the assembly would be packed.
So he in effect was the first community organizer.
And his name was what? John Kass, of my original grandfather?
Something like that.
You know what, though? The caller's got a point. The protests are theater for media, right? You want to put pressure on politicians, you go to their offices when they speak to constituents, like the Tea Party people did. That scares the crap out of them.
Hey, speaking of that, Derek Smith under attack. We'll get to that in a second.
He's my man.
We'll get to that. It's John Kass, Jay Cartford, Jim Johnson right here in 89 WLS, 748.
89 WLS.
Tune in to the Mortgage Radio Show here on 890 AM WLS this morning at 11 a.m. The Mortgage Radio Show, hosted by Kerry Kasem and mortgage expert Alex Michaels, brought to you by Network Capital Funding Corporation, will help you find the right mortgage product for your needs. The Mortgage Radio Show will provide you reliable information, up to the minute interest rates, and most current loan programs available. Get the tools needed to make sound financial and mortgage choices. Tune in this morning at 11 a.m. on 890 AM WLS. The Mortgage Radio Show, your number one choice for mortgage news.
Every day, Dragon speech recognition software from Nuance brings ideas to life. Every day, the imagination of the Walt Disney Studios brings ideas to life. Now, they're coming together. Enter your family in Dragon's Ultimate Backlot Pass sweepstakes, and you could win a trip to witness the wonders of the Walt Disney Studios in California on a behind-the-scenes backlot tour. Visit GetDragon.com today for official rules and to enter for your chance to win. No purchase necessary.
Hi, Gary Rabine of the Rabine Group. After 15 years of research and development on roads and parking lots, our world-class engineers are confident Ultralot White Topping, our trademark parking lot system, will outlast an asphalt overlay by 100 to 200% and will drastically reduce maintenance costs from an asphalt parking lot. We have a great opportunity for 20 property owners who would like to pilot partner the next generation of Ultralot White Topping with us. These pilot partners will receive a 10-year warranty at no additional cost and discover the value of a concrete parking lot for as low as 30% more than an asphalt overlay. Ultralot White Topping is not for everyone. Asphalt overlays are less expensive, and we pave millions of square feet of asphalt every year. Property owners that want life cycle cost savings, higher resale value, sustainability, and as a bonus, a 10-year warranty can call us today at 1-888-RABINE-3. Ask for me, Gary Rabine, 1-888-RABINE-3. Ultralot White Topping, a 10-year warranty. Now that's world class.
A green light turning yellow. A sudden rush hour slowdown. However you measure confidence, get more with the Midas Secure Stop Brake Service. Save up to $100 on a thorough brake inspection and new brake pads or shoes installed by experts. That's new brake pads or shoes installed up to $100 off. Midas. Total car care. Total customer care.
$50 per axle, not valid with brake warranty redemptions. Most vehicles at participating Chicagoland Midas.
Hi, Tom Bodette, trying to make sense of this Mayan calendar. It seems to end December 21st, 2012. That's unsettling. Oh well, still plenty of time this year to stay at Motel 6 and get a clean, comfortable room for the lowest price of any national chain. And we're still taking reservations for after December 21st. All due respect to the Mayans. Sorry, King Kitnich Akelmonab. Nothing but love for you. I'm Tom Bodette from Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
If you've missed one or more mortgage payments, or your home is in foreclosure, you need a lawyer. You need Kaplan Silverman, LLC, the biggest foreclosure defense firm in Cook County. Hi, I'm Charles Silverman, and we defend homeowners facing mortgage foreclosure. We will help you stay in your home, but you need to act early in a residential foreclosure to survive it, as most of your legal options are only at the beginning. A foreclosure is a lawsuit. Who is defending you? Don't let the bank set the schedule for your foreclosure. Call us at Kaplan Silverman, LLC. We will fight to do things on your terms.
Hi, I'm Arnold Kaplan. At Kaplan Silverman LLC, we defend hundreds of homeowners just like you. If you've missed a mortgage payment, call us for the best legal defense. We have over 26 years experience in foreclosures. Call Kaplan Silverman LLC for your free consultation. 312-443-1667. That's 312-443-1667. 312-443-1667. Or go to KaplanSilvermanLLC.com today.
Patrick Jaguar announces a Memorial Day sales event. Right now is the best time to get a great deal on a brand new Jaguar. Get thousands off MSRP on a new Jaguar XF demo, or take advantage of special low financing. Click PatrickJaguar.com.
An ABC News update is just minutes away. 89 WLS and online at WLSAM.com.
7:52. The Summit Special here until 8 o'clock. And 8 o'clock, it's Paul Bryant with Drive Chicago, John Kass of the Tribune, Jim Johnson with the news. He'll be with you after I'm gone. And you'll get news and traffic all this weekend right here on WLS. We are talking Derek Smith.
The man?
The man who got indicted, and now they don't want him to run in the election in November.
The state representative, Derek Smith, who took $7,000 is on an FBI tape, counting out the money, and then says the famous phrase, "Just leave it in the envelope." And they want to get rid of him now. They want to dump him off the ticket.
Not before the primary. They could have done it before the primary, but they didn't want to do that.
They wanted to keep their power. And now they want to put somebody else in there. And you know what I say, Jake? We form a political consulting company just for him, me and you, and we go to back this guy. Citizens for Smith.
We're going to support him whether he wants it or not.
And then when he gets convicted and sent to the who's gal, then we'll dump him. But first, we have to support him so that people know who was backing him all the way.
George, you're on 89 WLS, George.
Jake, I wonder if you could answer me a question.
If I can't, John will.
Or John. Where they had all these problems in Seattle with these protesters, and they tried to, let's try to pamper them. Why can't they just use hoses on them?
Why do you want to use hoses on somebody, dude? What?
I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, it does.
What does it do? Get them wet?
You're talking about shooting water. I thought you just taking hoses and beating them.
No,
I thought rubber hoses.
Water hoses.
Listen, first of all, the hose issue. Who wants to get wet? Okay, they're not doing anything wrong. And what are you going to do? Squirt them with water hoses, like garden hoses?
No, the type that the firemen use.
Oh, you want to knock people down?
Push them back. I mean, if they get out of hand, let's say if they get out of hand, like they did, in Seattle?
See, what they could have done on the Michigan Avenue Bridge, they could have brought the Chicago fireboat under the bridge and shot the water cannons right up on the bridge, right underneath, yeah.
That would have been like the Marilyn Monroe statue, but for real.
Exactly.
And with water. But I don't think the protest women are wearing those Marilyn Monroe outfits.
Joyce and Schaumburg. Joyce, you're on 89 WLS.
Hi, Mr. Kass and Jay. I'm happy to have the opportunity to speak to you.
Oh, hey, Joyce, guess what?
How well do you know NATO?
Hello?
Joyce, you get to answer a question here.
Go ahead.
How well do you know NATO? You have to tell me if this person is a NATO country leader or a player in the NBA. Okay?
Okay.
His name is Solomon Alabi.
I got to say NATO.
NBA.
You're kidding.
Nope, NBA. He plays for the NBA.
Okay. I lost, so I don't get to make my point?
No, you can make your point.
I kind of wanted to talk to Mr. Kass about the TIF program. As I see, yesterday Rahm Emanuel announced he's going to give $29 million to build a new building downtown, and of course the taxpayers will get it back over 10 years with $170 in taxes. That $29 million comes out of the taxpayer base for the TIF program. Am I correct?
I don't know the specifics of what you're saying, but generally businesses pay off their developments with the. It's really complicated. Okay, I can't figure it now. It's like
John,
math.
You've been hearing on the news that over the past 10 years, the Cook County property taxpayers have had a 48% increase in their property taxes.
Hey, guess what? I live in Cook County, okay? And I'm feeling like moving to Memphis.
Well, in the TIF program, and at any given year, if you ever read the Chicago Reader with Ben Jaworski.
Yeah, I do. I know what it is. It just takes like 6 hours to explain it on the radio.
I know, but
did you have a question about Rahm and Ricketts?
Well, yeah, he's going to penalize him,
right?
Because of trying to support Romney with that, proposition he had.
Are you going to join the Sox fans for Ricketts?
Sox fans for Ricketts?
Yeah, that's a new thing I'm starting in the paper on Sunday.
But you don't ever touch the TIF program, John. I've been reading you for years. About a year ago, the Tribune did an editorial on the TIF and the problems. Sun-Times did an editorial, and then it died. Nobody does
Okay, I did TIF years and years ago. Okay, thank you.
How many times could you do TIF?
Like, I don't know. Yeah, people really want to read it.
So you'll be doing the tomorrow?
Sox fans for Ricketts, and then later, sometime soon, you are gonna come out with me to Felony Franks, and we're
on Western Avenue,
over by there, and crown the winner of the Felony Franks contest.
A good time will be had by all.
Give me a double cheese dog.
Now, I know you need to go out, do some reporting on the NATO summit. I need to just go out and do something. Paul Bryant's coming up here with Drive Chicago in a few minutes. Jim Johnson will be with the news and traffic, and you'll get news and traffic all weekend long right here on WLS. Thank you, John, for coming in. Thank you, Jim, for doing the news on this NATO Chicago 2012 special. What's Your Beef? It's 89 WLS, 8 o'clock.
89 WLS.